This is Radio Now 95.3 FM. Come for the news, stay for informed conversations.
And continuing our conversations this morning, we turn to energy. The federal government says it plans to halt the importation of solar panels into the country to boost local manufacturing capacity. The Minister of Science and Technology, Uche Nnaji, says that the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, NASENI, is properly placed to lead the country towards clean energy solutions. He said this policy could see a diversification of energy options for Nigerians. Joining the conversation is Adeola Yusuf, the energy team lead at Platform Africa. Mr. Yusuf, good morning. Thank you for joining us on the conversation.
It's a beautiful morning. Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
What is your reaction to this move by the federal government?
Okay. Any effort by the government to encourage local production of things is always a welcome development. We all know that Nigeria is moving towards self-sustainability when it comes to energy in the world. So it is a welcome development. But the fact has to be established. We all know that it's always good for government to develop in-country capacity. But the concern that a lot of people are having as a result of that is that is the time right for that? Because you can't just stop importation of a product when you do not have a clear-cut idea of the local capacity when it comes to production. I mean, how much of those assets are we producing in country already before we start mooting the idea of stopping in country? I mean, before we start mooting the idea of stopping the importation. So it's good that we expect government to be working at all times to encourage local production of every material, particularly those materials that we have, the byproduct in country. But the other thing which should as well be paramount in the mind of government is ensuring that we don't do it, we don't stop importation abruptly, particularly when we have been depending 100% on importation. There should be a plan as to maybe we are doing it 60-40. And what I mean by that is to start by maybe local production 40%, importation 50%. Then we start reducing the percentage equation like that. We do 100%. So it's not expected that the government should just stop it 100% because at the end of the day, what will happen is that we will still keep importing that product maybe through smuggling, and the price will go very, very higher. Particularly when we don't have local production that can 100% take over the gap that stoppage of importation will create.
I mean, we've seen similar policies across other sectors. The most recent that every Nigerian will remember is when we shut down importation of rice in order to build local capacity. And every time people went to the market, local rice was more expensive than whatever the imported rice was, or the difference was marginal at best. So that begs the question of this plan that has been announced by the Minister of Science and Technology. But perhaps the next question is whether this sort of critical move in the power sector is an announcement that should be coming from this minister as opposed to the Minister of Power.
So your question is not clear, please.
Is this an announcement that should be coming from the Minister of Science and Technology as opposed to the Minister of Power, considering that it's an announcement affecting the power sector?
Okay, so it can come from the Minister of Science and Technology because the announcement is just about, the panel that we are using, and that aspect of that value chain has more to do with science and technology. The Minister of Power is preoccupied with, everything that has to do with the thermal production of electricity, the hydro production of electricity. I think technically the power minister has more at hand to do because up till now, we don't have sufficiency, in that aspect that is still covering. So And the other part of electricity generation, which has to do with I'm looking for that name now. Okay, the solar, the wind, and all that, all those renewables. Yeah, thank you. All those renewables. Minister they are getting very little attention from the Minister of Power. And when we have someone who is a member of the cabinet, particularly the Minister of Science and Technology, looking at that aspect, I think it should be a collaborative effort. So coming from the Minister of Science and Technology, as far as I'm concerned, it should be of little concern to us. The fact just remains that what is at the back of the minds of every Nigerian is to get the government working, because everyone there are representing government headed by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
All right, Mr. Yusuf, thank you very much for your time and expertise on the conversation. Adeola Yusuf is the energy team lead at Platform Africa, and he joined us this morning to speak on the federal government's plans to halt the importation of solar panels in order to boost local production.
This is Radio Now 95.3 FM. Come for the news, stay for informed conversations.